What up, good people? Do you want to make money, but you're a noob at crypto? Don't worry, you've come to the right place. Now, there's basically, for the newbie investor, there are two types of way to make money. The first is you buy Bitcoin or an altcoin, and then you sit on it and you hope and pray that this altcoin or whatever is going to moon in the next whatever amount of time, or you just sit on it and you hodl that shit forever. So you buy a Bitcoin now and then you wait the next 10 years to see some actual gains. Or you buy an altcoin and you hope that it moons, but unfortunately that kind of strategy, it tends to take the newbies and get them absolutely wrecked. Now, make no mistake, so I have bought a couple of altcoins which have absolutely been bludgeoned to death by the Bitcoin market, which you can see has just been a bloodbath since about, when was this, November. It's just been a fun ride down. Whee! Have you enjoyed yourself? Have you enjoyed bleeding money, watching your altcoins vaporize in front of your eyes? Well, don't worry. We can still make money in this type of market. Because as you can see, from about after this absolute massive dump that Bitcoin has taken, it took an absolute shit here. You can see it dropped to, what was that price there? 42,410. It's obviously bounced back from there, and since that day on the 4th of December, it's practically just traveled sideways, as you can see. Now, as a newbie trader, you're not going to be making money here. In fact, your altcoins are probably losing you money over this period of time. And the only thing you can do is pray to your Lord that the Bitcoin price eventually starts to shoot up and reclaim all-time highs, and then your altcoins will go to the moon. But yeah, so where I am currently in this market is I've realized that there's a lot of pain, and I think there might still be pain for a long time yet, because these whales and institutional investors and bankers and those assholes are basically going to keep suppressing this Bitcoin price. They need to play their games. They need to, like on this flippin' day, they decided we're going to turbo dump your asses. And they did, and they can do whatever they want because they know that the retail investor, like you and I, the noobs, are basically just going to be frightened out of our positions, and we're just going to sell our coins, and they are just waiting there to sweep all of that shit up. And once again, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So I was like, nah, fuck that. I want to learn a bit more about trading, because I'm quite enthusiastic about crypto. I love crypto. I love the various projects, and I like to stay on top of all the news of crypto and its development. And I still think we're early, mass adoption is coming. But, until the big boys have stopped playing their games here, whatever the fuck they're doing. Like just on Twitter, I read that on one exchange, there's a huge sell wall, like at about this level, just driving the price down. And then on another exchange, there's a huge buy wall, like under here. And basically, these two are sort of competing, and these whales are just basically making Bitcoin go flat. So it's not very exciting, and as an investor who wants juicy gains, you know, during turbulent, volatile times like this, you ain't gonna make it, man. So, what can we do? Right. So I did a bit of research, and it turns out there's this thing called grid trading, and this is basically where you deploy a bot. So here's a little graphic on how this works. What is a grid trading bot? Let's go to that chart, because that chart was really good. Right. So suppose you start grid trading, right? And this is the current price, this dotted line here. Once you open your grid trading positions, what's going to happen is the bot is going to make a bunch of buy orders when the current price drops below, or you know, the price drops below wherever you started your grid. And as it goes through the levels, it will just keep buying, and then once the price eventually goes up again, it will just start selling. And you can see it goes down again, and it will do the same thing, buy, and it goes up again, sell. And you know, this is actually a really good way to make money when the market is going sideways, like it has been here. Now, for grid trading bots to succeed, there's a number of characteristics of a market that need to be in place for this kind of strategy to work. So firstly, the price needs to be going sideways, which is exactly what's been happening since the 4th of December until now. So check. The next thing we need is volatility, right? So if you're going in a straight line, that ain't going to make you money. So you need to be going up, down. And you can see if we were to draw a line, let's say through the Bitcoin price, let's say this was the sort of median between the high and the low within this range, right? You can see now our grid trading bot would now start buying as it drops down here, and then selling as it crosses that line again, and then it would rinse and repeat, you know. So you can see here, if we measure the Bitcoin price volatility, so let me expand this a little bit so you can see. Whoop. So if we measure from the top of this, let's say we set up a grid to between this and this range here. So here we have about a 14% range between the highs and the lows within this sideways region. So that's kind of, you know, that's cool, right? But that's not what we want. We want juicy gains. And we want even more volatility. So we're going to choose an altcoin instead, right? So, you know, typically altcoins, let's say Bitcoin does a 1% increase in a day. An altcoin might do, I don't know, 5%, maybe a 10%. And who knows, you know, if you pick an absolutely degenerate altcoin, a really low cap one, it might be doing swings of 20% in a day. So let's have a look. So this range is since the 4th of December until now is about 14% on Bitcoin. Let's go and look at something else. Let's look at, I don't know, let's try Uniswap. So Uniswap USDT, and we look at the same thing now. Okay, so here we are, so 4th of December after Bitcoin took a dump till today. If we use our eyeballs and we estimate a median to be, I don't know, maybe somewhere there. So that's the middle of the range. And now we measure the volatility. So the max, it's So the minimum to the maximum here is 44%. So 14% versus 44%. It's almost, 2 to 3 times more volatile than what Bitcoin is, which is exactly what we need for a grid trading bot, right? So now, with that out the way, let us see how we can do this, right? So I like to use GateIO. This is the exchange that it's kind of my favorite. The reason for this is, I don't know, I just really like the interface. It's got a lot of features. The fees are really low, and also it has a whole bunch of altcoins which you pretty much are not going to find on any other exchange. So these are the things that I like about GateIO. Right, so to get started on our grid trading, you would come, you see at the top here, it says copy trading. Okay, so first I should just say, you need to load money into GateIO, right? I think you can buy crypto. I think if you click on that, you can buy using a credit card, like a Visa, Maestro, whatever. But I don't know. I don't buy it this way. I tend to just I use Kraken, and I buy with my bank account because there's no fees. And then what I do is I convert it to stellar lumens on Kraken, and then I send those stellar lumens into my GateIO stellar lumen address. And once it arrives into this exchange, I basically just sell those stellar lumens and get USDT, US dollar tether, which is like the base currency that you're going to need to do any kind of trading on GateIO. Now, the reason I use stellar lumens is because the fees are absolutely tiny. So that's the whole premise behind stellar lumen, or XLM, is that the fees are really small, so you can send stuff between exchanges with practically zero cost, and that's always a plus, right? So now we want to start copy trading. You click up here, copy trading, and here you can see a bunch of strategies that people have made, right? And you can see the kind of return on investments they've made. And some of these strategies, great, they can make you 3,000 USDT return, but when you dig into the details of this particular strategy, you find that actually you need to have like a huge amount of money deposited in, or something like that. And also, what's important to do is to look at the chart. This basically shows the cumulative gains, and some of these, right? So they might have started here and they peaked up here. Now, that's great, but what happened when the Bitcoin price? So if I go back to BTC USD here, how do these things actually do when the market dumped and has been going sideways? Right, so you want to look at these strategies and see how they've performed over the last, the last couple of weeks, to see, are they actually making money, some of these strategies? Like, you could, it was so easy to make money when Bitcoin was pumping, like, for months and months through last year. But now that it's trading sideways, you can see that these are actually, most of them are losing money. So what you need to do is find a strategy that has basically just been going up and up and up. That's how you know that this strategy has been, regardless of the market conditions, this one just keeps, keeps pumping your bags, which is what you want. You want to make some juicy gains. So for example, this is a good one. So this is one that I've just started trying. I don't know who this dude is. He's a VIP2 member, so he's probably like a hardcore trader. He set up this particular spot grid trading. You see, there's other types. The smart rebalance. There's like custom strategy. This one is a Ethereum long strategy. You can see this dude, his strategy is absolutely shit. This one's also shit. So basically what I'm saying is you need to do a bunch of research and try and find a good strategy, one that just continually makes money for you. And I think spot grid trading, in given the structure of the market recently, this is kind of what you want to do. Not financial advice, of course. None of the things I say are financial advice. You do your own research and all of that. But this is what I'm doing, right? So this guy, let's say I like this strategy. I can see it's been going up and up regardless of the conditions. So I click on that. And we can see here, this has been trading since June 2021, and it's just made the stellar gains, which is great. Absolute pump there. But yeah, so this is a good one. And then simply what you would do is, if you like it, you then hit copy. You would you see here it says not less than 33.5 whatever US dollar tether. So that's the minimum amount you need to put in the strategy, because it needs to basically buy the grids. And depending on how many grids you've got, the grid spacing, the range, blah, 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 all of this parameters, it needs enough money to be able to buy into the strategy, right? So you would put how much you want to put in. So you would need, for this one, at least put $34, right? And at this point, you can just hit create, and it will create the strategy. You just leave it and just come look at it every 2 days or so and evaluate whether it's working or not. There are some other conditions here. So rise conditions. So this one, it says once enabled, the strategy will auto terminate when the last price breaks below the lower limit price. So basically, you would check these, and once, if the price, suddenly pumps or dumps or whatever, it will basically exit your strategy, and you'll walk away with whatever gains you've made. And then there's this option here, so sell whatever. So this one is using the pair is POWR. I don't even know what the fuck this is, but it doesn't matter. Somebody's done their research and they've chosen this this particular coin to do grid trading on. So this, I like to check this option down here. So sell when it terminates. So basically, once let's say you don't like the strategy anymore, you can just terminate it, and it will sell whatever, if it's holding some of this particular coin for you, when you terminate, it'll just sell that, right? So I'm just gonna, for your sake, I'm gonna hit these options, and I'm gonna sell, and then you hit create. All right, and it's going to show up in your list of your grid trading strategies, right? So there it is, POWR. I've invested $34, and it gives you some statistics on on how this is doing, right? So this particular one, so I don't particularly like it, so I'm just going to terminate this real quick. So some of the historical strategies I've done. So you see here, let's just organize this. So I've tried some strategies, and here this one lost me $4.6. This one lost me $1. This one lost me $1. This one lost me basically nothing. So a lot of these, sometimes the strategy, like I just get bored and I don't particularly like the strategy, or it's very quickly, the particular coin that was chosen, I feel, sometimes I feel isn't right, so I just terminate it. But some of these strategies, for example, this one was really good to me. So I ran this one from the 17th of December until yesterday, so the 3rd of January. So that's about 2 weeks, I think. And initially I deposited $120. And at the end of my 2 weeks, I made $32, for doing absolutely nothing. I just basically left this thing. I just let it run, let the bot do its thing, and picked up my sweet gains at the end of it. So this particular one, if this is one that you like, so this is a strategy I copied from somebody else. You can copy this exact strategy as well. So if I go here, the signaler, so this is, you can see how this person's portfolio has done. Yeah, it's actually not done so well, but you can see the various different types. They've tried different spot grid tradings. The flux one is the one you want, right? So that was the one that made me a nice $30 in 2 weeks, which is very nice. That's the one that you want. So this particular guy, if you want to find him, he's called NGLI817. So NGLI817. If you wanted to copy this exact trade, of course, none of this is financial advice. You go to copy trading, trader nickname. It was NGLI. Fuck, I can't even remember what it was. Let's just search that. Let's see if it comes up. There it is. NGLI. Flux USDT. That's the one you want. You hit copy. You see, this one requires not less than $131. So this is kind of like, a bit of a steep initial investment for people, and maybe not. I don't know. Maybe for you it's not. So you would just load your money in. You have set your conditions, and you hit create. Now, I've been, as you can see in my historical strategies, I've been trying some strategies out, and some of them have actually been very good. So there's the one that I copied, and this is one that I tried myself. And you can see I only let it run for 2 days, and within the 2 days, I put in $30 and I made $1.50 in profit. And so that's basically 645% annual returns. So this particular strategy, I think I'm running it again. Let's have a look. If I go to active strategies, I don't believe I have it anymore. In fact, I should do it again. But I'm trying to do something different here. I'm trying to. So my background is I have a PhD in computational physics, right? So the whole concept of programs, automation, mathematics, like I love that shit. And so I'm going to be investing quite a bit of my time in trying to find the best strategy, trying to learn about this particular grid trading. So if you want to follow some of the projects I have, so these are ones that I've started. So these two I started today, and this one is since yesterday. And like this one, for example, Uniswap, USDT pair, this one is doing really great. Look, it's already made 53 trades. In just today, it's made $0.3, and if I'm going to basically be trying to optimize these strategies, because you can create your own strategy, right? If you go to create a new strategy template, and then you say create strategy, and here you can define what the price range should be between, the number of grid points, what the base kind of like level is. So there's all these sort of things that you can parameters you can manipulate to try and come up with the best strategy. And if you just want to kind of like play around with your own ones, you just hit Smart Grid, and this basically uses one of GateIO's algorithms to backtest. So basically it will look at the strategy and see over the last 7 days like how much, if you were to use this particular strategy, so for Polygon with 43 grids and all of the stuff, you would have made in the last 7 days 242% annual returns, which is not bad. It can do better. So you would you would just load your money in like this again and create. Alternatively, if you're kind of confident that you know what's going on in grid trading, you can set it up all yourself, and you can configure all of the stuff. If you hit here fill AI data, it will fill in that stuff, and then you can manipulate these numbers. So yeah, that's what I want to be doing. Like, I mean, that $30 I made in the last 2 weeks, I was really pleased with that. And I'm going to be running a couple more tests. So if you want to find out what I'm doing, of course, you're under no obligation. You can, if you go to copy trading, and in the trader nickname, you would just search for CH over 9,000, and you hit filter. It will show you my particular strategies, and you can copy one of them. So you can just keep an eye on what I'm doing, and if you like the strategy, then feel free to copy it. Because if it makes you money, let's say you make $100 profit, it will basically tip me $5 for using my strategy. So that's if you want to, if you're interested in the work I'm going to be doing, which is basically using my mathematics knowledge and regression models and stuff to try and come up with the best possible strategy. You're welcome to come and try copy some of mine. So some of these have just started, so you can't really tell how good they are. You need a couple of days to really get a feel for whether your strategy is working. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. And let me know if you like grid trading. So the thing with grid trading is you need to run these grids for a long amount of time. So this is the one I was running the longest, and some of these I just, like this one, POWR, I copied somebody else's strategy and it was meant to be this shit. Let's go look at it. If I look at their strategy, right, so it was a POWR one, this one. So, it looks all sweet. So that was the one I was showing you, but it actually just ended up losing me money within the space of 2 days. And I was like, nah, I mean, whatevs, So that's what I'm going to be doing. Let me know if you like grid trading, or if you got any questions. I'll try my best to answer them. Yeah, you can also try some of these other strategies, and you can see you might just get wrecked, especially with the current state of the market, which is why I personally am going to try grid trading. perhaps better would be even to do like some yield farming and stuff, which or staking, which are things you can do on GateIO as well. But yeah, I don't really want to be staking the coins that I think have potential to really skyrocket, you know, because if something does go to the moon while you're staking it, there's something called impermanent losses, and you know, go Google that and you'll see what happens. But basically, you miss out on the juicy like mega pumps, and that's not something I want to do with my current altcoin position. So this is just something, you know, to play around with, to stop the bleed from Mr. Old Bitcoin having a bit of a dump. So while we all wait for this thing to start recovering, or maybe it never will, maybe we go down into the abyss, we just don't know. And if you are going to make that call, you're probably going to get wrecked, right? So any kind of like YouTuber guy says, oh, we've got this pattern emerging and blah, 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 we're going to moon in the next 2 weeks. And then, you know, everyone was saying like, oh, on the 17th of November, like we're going to go to the moon and we're going to have a repeat of what happened in 2017. And yeah, look where we are. So when people, like, sure, some professionals can kind of gauge the market. You can look into technical indicators, but are you really, you know, are you that guy? Are you that technical? Do you have the resources to go and like look into stochastic RSI and bearish divergence and blah? Fuck that. Do grid trading, and while we're trading sideways, come join me. Let's make some gains. All right, people. Cheers.